From the point of view of history, the Ottoman Empire was a strong and mysterious society known for its grandeur and mystery. But behind the beautiful front, a darker story is being told. Who was the worst person in the Ottoman Empire? This question makes us think about the dark sides of the past, where there are many stories of cruel rulers and sneaky plotters. As we go through history, we'll solve the mysteries of a bygone age by looking into the lives and actions of people who changed history forever, for better or worse. Let's set off into the mysterious world of the Ottoman Empire in our time machine. Vlad III, the Prince of Albania, has become a legendary figure due to his actions in the Transylvanian towns of Transylvania. In the second half of the 1450s, Vlad was at war with other Transylvanian towns, including the CBU and Dan III, who wanted to take Wallachia from Vlad. The Saxons, who were German immigrants, were wealthy merchants who helped the economy and fortified several cities, while most Romanians were peasants who were pushed to the bottom of society when the Saxons took over the ruler's money and favors. Vlad killed his half-brother and laid siege to Brussia, which drove them apart. In the middle of Transylvania, Russia, under the Saxon king of Russia, had the most money, the strongest army, and a 14-foot wall with carefully placed bastions. Vlad grew up in these places and knew them inside and out, so it wasn't against him. He chose to attack at night to trick the city guard, destroying the village of Boy and capturing several people at target. The story of Dracula being the strongest monster comes from the fact that Vlad was prepared for the attack. Saxons sent a diplomat to talk with Vlad, who found Tom's prison with 20,000 other prisoners of war. Vlad made the mistake of covering his nose while making the grove of bodies one night, which made him angry. He told his troops to put the knight on one of the stakes next to the prisoners, and his enemies had to dig their own graves, plant death, or wait for the diplomat. Vlad ate his lunch outside, dipping his bread into cranberry juice and mustard. There were no talks the night before because Vlad Wedo said he had tried to talk to the towns about peace before the war, but they ignored him. He wanted to make sure that this time they wouldn't ignore him or treat him less seriously. In 1447, Vladislav II, a mean man, was granted permission by Sultan Murat to join the Ottoman army on the condition that he takes Wallachia from Vladislav II, who was John Hunyadi's puppet. Vladislav had been master of Albania until his family took over, and Wallachia was also his birthright. After his father's death, Vladislav changed sides and tried to get help from the Ottomans. After Hunyadi's death in 1456, Vlad sought help from the Hungarians and took back Wallachia. Vladislav caught up with Dan III, the brother of Vladislav II. After the siege of Russia, Vlad made the overthrown king dig his own grave and bury Dan, cutting off his head. He burned at the stake all Saxon traders and 41 Saxon students, believing them to be spies. Vlad knew that more than one person was to blame for his father's death. In Wallachia and other Eastern European places, the voyeurs, or fighters, were the ruling class without nobles. Vlad knew that the voyeurs were planning ways to get rid of him, so he had to deal with them before they did anything. During Easter in 1457, he brought the whole boyar family to his principality for dinner at his castle in Targoviste. He asked the 500 lords in their great hall how many princes they had seen in their lives, and they hung them from the ceiling on spikes. This scene was called the Sea of Rotting Corpses, and was a warning for the entire quarter. Vlad was mean to everyone, whether they were his friends, enemies, or subjects. At one of his famous feasts, common Roman peasants were present, and he served a huge feast to his guests. After dinner, the prince locked the guests in the hall and told his guards to burn down the building. He looked at his work and said, "These men live off the sweat of other people, so they are generally useless to humanity." As the son of Dracula, Vladlov burned things inside people, which was in line with his name. In the Forest of Stakes, 6 months after Dan III's death, Vlad made an unfair peace deal with the Saxons, knowing the Ottomans were coming to his door. To keep the Ottomans happy while he fought the Saxons, he paid them a large yearly tribute of 10,000 ducats. After the peace happened, he stopped paying the Ottomans. As a punishment, Sultan Mehmet sent his agents to the area for 3 years, and 500 young boys to join the Ottoman army in 1462. The ambassadors proudly repeated the Sultan's request without showing Vlad any respect. Before knowing what happened to his minister, he told his soldiers to nail the turbines to their heads so they could never be taken off. Vlad took over Giorgio, an Ottoman city, and put on his armor and flag from when he was an Ottoman general to act like one. He attacked towns near the Danube, destroying every Ottoman settlement he came across. Mehmet was furious and sent 60,000 men with high-tech guns to attack Wallachia. As the Ottomans moved towards Targoviste, Vlad had only 24,000 men at his disposal, so open combat was out of the question. However, Vlad had another plan to send the Ottomans back. He surprised them with guerrilla warfare and an ambush at night, which killed 5,000 Ottomans. Then came the shocker, where the Ottoman army saw fields of fire as far as the eye could see when they got to the edge of Targoviste. These fields were not empty, but they had stakes in the ground with 20,000 people sitting on them. The Ottoman army found out that these people were not Wallachians, but Ottomans. Black had gathered all the Ottomans he could find in Wallachia and mass killed them as a message without caring about the victims. Many people have different ideas about where the bloodthirsty Vlad III of Wallachia came from. For Romanians, he is a national hero because he fought against the cruel, relentless Ottoman Empire, which abused the people of Albania and Moldavia, which together make up modern-day Romania. However, for many Romanians and people from other places, Vlad the Impaler was a terrible, bloodthirsty, crazy tyrant who didn't care who he hurt. The Ottomans made it much more likely that he would turn out that way. The father of Vlad III, Vlad II Dragon, joined the Order of the Dragon, a Christian military group that fought against evil. After being arrested and imprisoned, the children stayed with the Ottomans for 6 years. This is it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. If so, then share your thoughts in the comments and also share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you can never miss our